Now, Shaq, I guess, does a podcast, and Shaq spoke about his thoughts on Kobe Bryant. Here's Shaq on his podcast first.
I'm not doing well. I'm sick. I'm just getting over the death of my sister. I haven't eaten. I haven't slept. And I know some idiot's going to bring up the relationship with me and Kobe had. All the stuff that is documented between us, it was never a dislike. It's just, listen, this is what brothers do. I have a younger brother. We fight all the time. But guess what? I love him. And I love Kobe Bryant. I'm the first to say, hey, I got 4 rings, and I know I couldn't have got 3 without him. We still are the best duo ever created. That's not going to change, but I wish at 60 and 70 in the old folks' home or on the show, we could talk about it. For me, this is going to hurt a long time.
Heartfelt, man.
Do you have more? I want to hear more. No, I could just
I
listen.
think we have Shaq, and he said something very similar on TNT. Like I said, he went about 5 minutes uninterrupted. I retweeted it if you want to watch, where he did say that, look, whether or not he was accurate or not, he did say that the last time that he spoke to Kobe was when he said go for 50.
Well, that wasn't accurate.
Yeah.
Because he did the interview. But still, I mean, the point is well taken that they didn't talk a lot in the last couple of years.
Shaq on TNT.
Well, as you know, it's already been the last couple months been really tough. Lost my little sister. Haven't been sleeping. Haven't been doing the normal things I usually do. I work, we laugh, we kid, we joke. When I get back home and look at reality and say she's gone, it just hurts. So the other day I'm downstairs working out with my son Shakir and my nephew Columbus. And my other nephew comes in crying and he shows me his phone. And I snapped at him. I said, man, get that out of my face. Just get it away from me. You know, we live in a world where anything could be photoshopped, anything could be hoaxed. I didn't want to believe it. And then I got the call from you, Charles, Kenny, everybody called me. And then we found out it was confirmed. And haven't felt the pain that sharp in a while. 47 years old, lost 2 grandmothers, lost a Sarge, lost my sister, and now I lost a little brother.
You could just hear it in his voice.
Oh, yeah.
It's not the same guy.
Plus, he's dealing with the death of his sister recently.
I didn't even know what happened to that. I vaguely remember reading about that. She had cancer or something?
Not sure.
Yeah, vaguely remember reading about that. You could just hear it in his voice. It's just awful.
Do you want to hear more?
Sure.
We up here, we work a lot. And I think a lot of times we take stuff for granted. Like, I don't talk to you guys as much as I need to. The fact that we're not going to be able to joke at his Hall of Fame ceremony. We're not going to be able to say, hi, I got 5, you got 4. The fact that we're not going to be able to say, if we would stay together, we could have got 10. Those are the things that you can't get back. And with the loss of my father, my sister, and my thing, that's the only thing I wish I could just say something to him again. Last time I talked to him was when we were here and I asked him to get 50 and he got 60. It's the last time I spoke to him. And I just wish I could have, so it definitely changes me. I have to, because I work a lot. You guys know what I do. I work probably more than the average guy, but I just really have to now just take time and just call and say, I love you.
So this helicopter, there's a woman from the NTSB, her name is Jennifer Homendy. She said that this helicopter didn't have that terrain system, the terrain alert system. All right. She recommended to the FAA years ago that all choppers that are carrying 6 passengers or more would be required to have this particular system.
Right.
And the FAA said, okay, well, we'll get to it. So the FAA, I guess, to drag their feet on requiring all these choppers to have this particular system. Clearly pilot error, but if this terrain system, alert system, is on the chopper, they would know exactly where that hill was, and they wouldn't have crashed into it.
I mean, it's sad. That's tragic.
Yeah,
Yep, it was avoidable,
certainly.
which is that's the worst part. It's
That's
avoidable.
what's disgusting
Yeah,
about
it's
it.
bad.
It was 100% avoidable.
Yep.
Yeah.
First of all, for when the L.A. Sheriff's Department downed all their choppers, said
Yeah.
no, the fog's too much, and they still allowed him to take off.
Right.
I don't get it.
That's one where you would think maybe the pilot is just might be intimidated by telling Kobe no.
Could be.
I know,
maybe
but
that's part of it.
They got cleared
I
by
know.
the tower,
Like,
whoever.
why is the tower clearing them when everybody,
Yeah.
the police have made the decision to ground their choppers? It seems weird. I don't know.
They're probably just so used to flying, and they do it all the time. And even though that's rough terrain out there, they're just used to it and don't realize. You know
I'm
what
sure
I mean?
they
You just get used to
but
it.
there has to be a breaking point. And if other agencies are not allowing their choppers to fly, why are you letting this particular one go up?
Because it's a private company.
I know, but there still has to be a regulation.
Yeah, but there were other choppers in the air that didn't crash.
No, I understand that.
That was pilot error.
So
There were other
Yeah.
choppers
You're
that
right.
were operating fine.
you're right.
Yeah.
It was pilot error.
He wasn't supposed to be near that fog because he had to have the visibility. And all of a sudden he got in that fog, and that, he wasn't supposed to be near the fog. And he got up in the fog. He was supposed to be flying below the fog. So,
He was at 2,300 feet, and then the chopper hit the hillside at just over 1,000 feet. So he descended over 1,000 feet in, I don't know, a couple minutes.
because he probably just all of a sudden hit a ton of fog.
Might have even been faster than that.
Yeah, it might have been
mean-
seconds.
Yeah.
We
it's-
heard yesterday that particular helicopter could travel as fast as 180 miles an hour.
Yeah,
It was just terrifying.
yeah. There had to be some. I know that you hope that it just hit the hill and they didn't realize what was going
Exploded.
on, but there had to be panic on that chopper if they're descending that quick.
Yeah, you would think.
I mean, they had
You might
to.
not feel it. You might not feel it.
I'm not saying you're feeling it. but
I
you
actually can feel
that.
it when I'm on an airplane.
You
As
can't-
soon
hold
as
on.
they start descending, I know it.
You think you can't feel 1,000-foot drop?
I don't know.
In like the span of a
Yes,
minute, you feel that.
100% you can.
I think you can.
Especially in a helicopter.
When
like
I'm
a
on an airplane, I know
a
when-
smaller vehicle. Like you might not feel it in a 757 or 737, but in a 10-passenger helicopter,
Yeah, you could.
You're
Okay,
gonna
'cause
feel,
I feel it.
You're gonna feel that drop.
I feel it in a 737.
Yeah.
I feel a descent immediately. I know when we're descending. And then,
I don't feel it when I'm sleeping, and you never know if they were
yeah,
sleeping.
you're asleep. Yeah.
Well, they weren't sleeping.
No, there weren't
You don't know
nine.
that.
There weren't 9 people asleep. They were
I
there
mean,
for
come on.
30 minutes.
Let's use your head.
Yeah, it was 9 in the morning. It was a quick trip. It was like a car ride.
But it's just
Exactly. Car rides, you go to sleep on quick trips all the time.
I mean, if it
If
comforts
it's
you to think they were
routine,
sleeping.
I'm not saying all of them. I'm saying
Yeah.
some of them may have been sleeping.
I'm just saying that my guess is
My guess
there
is
was-
they
there was
were
some
going to a
panic.
basketball game where they're going to play,
there was some panic on that
and they
chopper
were wide awake. They were wide awake.
based on what we know about the descent.
Yeah.
Well, either way, it's tragic, and I thought that the words from Shaq were quite powerful. I watched Charles Barkley. Now, Charles Barkley said he was actually in the movies. He was watching the movie The Gentleman, and so he doesn't bring his phone into the movies, and he comes out of the movies, and he checks his phone, and he's like, 75 phone calls, 100 texts. He was like, man, there must have been a big NBA trade.
Right.
And then he started seeing the news, and then he just shut it down. He said that all those calls are people requesting him to be on the air.
Oh,
Yeah.
And he
didn't
said,
wanna
I didn't
talk
know what
about
to
it.
say.
Yeah.
And he still didn't really know what to say. And I like Charles because he's honest. He said, look, I didn't really know Kobe. He said, Kobe, he goes, but he was still crushed. He was like, Kobe was always cordial to me. We would say, hello, kind of small talk, but he's like, Kobe, he's like, I didn't have dinner with him. I never really spent any significant time with him. He's like, but being part of this NBA family for all the years I played and all the years I've covered it, he felt like family.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's kind of my theory. Like, why did this hit me more than, random rock stars that pass away or whatever that I'm aware of? Is just I log so much time watching Kobe Bryant in the NBA, because if you just watch a playoff series and you watch it night after night, that's a ton of games. And then they were in the finals. So to watch, you might watch 20 games of a postseason of Kobe Bryant in one season.
Yeah.
And then you tee it up the next year because they were there year after year after year.
Yeah. especially for people out in L.A. that would see all of their home game, 81 games.
Yeah.
You know,
I mean, just think about our reaction
for
to this.
18 years or however
Just
long.
think
it is.
about them who
Yeah.
were huge Lakers fans and huge because, like, again, we weren't huge Kobe fans.
Right.
We
No.
enjoyed watching them play, but they were huge Kobe fans. Huge.
Oh yeah. Well, the thing that really hit home is when the guys were talking about how 90% of the league all idolized Kobe.
Yep.
Because that was their guy.